Hey, what's good, guys? We're just gonna run through a quick board breaker slash like non-hand trap tier list for the Phantom Nightmare format. This is coming with me having some insight about it after going to a Phantom Nightmare format regionals, and I'm kind of like, after getting some testing in with the format, kind of seeing what is good and what is like okay. And I know I already did that like spreadsheet thing where I kind of rated all of the hand traps and non-engine options, but that didn't really tell you what to do with them. Like, do you put them in the main deck or am I side decking those? And I definitely didn't hit a lot of these like board breaker type of cards. I was only looking for main deck cards and not really trying to figure out what to put in my side. So yeah, we're going to talk through each of these options in the tier list that's set up here, and splitting it up into these 5 categories, which is, the first one's going to be any main deck, like everyone could main this card. The second one is could main, which means it kind of means like some deck, it might be worth maining in some decks, but it might not fit in a lot of decks. Like it's not just a throw in for everybody. Any side deck, and could side is the same thing, but for side decks, right? So any side deck is like literally anyone could side this card and it's going to be solid, whereas could side is like only some decks, it might only fit with some strategies. And then not good is just not good, like don't play them in this particular format. Okay, and I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time. I'm just going to go through and kind of go row by row instead of going in this random order that's on the bottom and sorting it. We're just going to go any main deck could main. We're going to go top to bottom and sort them out. Okay, so for any main deck, the first card that can go in any main deck for this particular format is going to be Cosmic Cyclone, and I think this card is kind of slept on, but it's so good. Going first, going second, hitting Fire King Island wipes the board. You can Cosmic the whatever Flamberge is trying to summon back. Cosmic into Labyrinth is good first or second. Like if on your turn, when you're going first, they use Furniture to set a card, you can just Cosmic that, or you can chain Cosmic to a Welcome so Lady doesn't set a card. There's like a ton of uses for Cosmic, not to mention the rogue issues like Runics, might as well hit that. I played 3 Centurion matchups. Cosmic is great into Centurion just for the field spell or for hitting the monsters that are trying to summon themselves back. Yeah, there's just a ton of uses for this card, and it's a quick play, so it's good first or second, so any main deck. The next card, any main deck, is Fenrir. It's been there for a while, but like it's a good format for Fenrir still. So I do recommend playing this card, and I think it's going to be totally fine. The next one for any main, I had a few. Oh, Talents. Where's Talents? Talents can go in basically in any main deck right now. Since it's like people are playing a ton of hand traps right now, Talents is going to be live going first or second. So it's definitely a solid card. Thrust isn't in this list, but that could, I don't think I would put it in any main. I think Talents would stay in any main deck just because it's generically really good. And then anything else that could go in any main, I don't think so. Nothing in this tier list I would put in my main deck for like, I would like start my deck with these cards in the main. Onto could main though. There's a lot of cards we could main that are solid options. The first one is going to be Super Poly. Super Poly obviously doesn't go in every deck. Like a lot of decks won't have the extra deck space for the targets like Mudragon and Garura, and then a lot of decks just don't want to be discarding things for this cost. I don't know, but there's a lot of decks that could main it, like Branded could main it, Labyrinth could main it, Pearly, maybe? I don't know. Probably not Pearly. You don't want to have too many cards that need discards. So, but anyway, yeah, you could main Super Poly if you have the space for it. Droplet is kind of in the same place. Like if you can benefit from Droplet, it's definitely main deckable. But otherwise, like it's not a shoe-in like it used to be in older formats. Let's see. Anything else that you could main in a lot of decks? I don't think so. By the way, this bottom right card is Spellbound, that's the one that's like a no material, right? Let me look that up really quick. Spellbound, make sure I know which card that is. All face-up monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be tributed or is used for material. Okay, that's a pretty solid card. So, yeah, but it's definitely not main deckable. I just wanted to make sure what it was. I think Enemy Controller is a could main card. This is a really quality card for decks where you want to dodge effect negation and take opponent's monsters, or like if you want to provide battle protection for some particular reason, having that to turn something to defense is really strong. So I've seen Econ in stuff like Kashtira a lot, and kind of like control-y decks like that, where just having some battle protection to save whatever interruptions you have is actually pretty solid. So yeah, you'll notice that in the top two rows, a lot of quick plays besides talents. But yeah, you don't really want to main deck a lot of like hard going second cards, because if you go first, then you just got bricks. So and then like the books are arguably in could main, like maybe Book of Moon could main, but I think I'm gonna put it down in any side deck. Same, both Moon and Eclipse here. And while we're at it, Lunar Eclipse is just terrible, so we're gonna put that in not good. But these can go into any side deck. They hit a lot of things. They hit like Pearly really well. That's their classic use. They hit Kashtira really well. So if your deck has a tough time into Cash, put the books in. And then really any like combo like Link climbing deck or like Centurion, any Synchro climbing deck, books are going to be pretty solid. And even into stuff like Fire King, they're not terrible. Or I mean the Snake Eyes part particularly, they're not terrible. Like if you Book of Moon like the Flamberge or something, that's kind of nice. Like unless they have, Ash and Oak can't send those, right? They need face-up cards to send. Send 2 face-up cards, yeah. So if you book like the Flamberge, I don't really know how they get rid of it, because all of their stuff needs to send face-up stuff. Diabellestar can send 1 card from your hand or field. So Black Witch can send a booked card, but if they've already used Black Witch, then you're cooking. So that's an option, but yeah, I think any side deck for the books. Also for cards like Change of Heart, Change of Heart is really solid and can be a game changer, an awesome board breaker. So basically any deck that plays Link monsters can play Change of Heart with value. Let's see. Pankratops can go in any side. It's just a strong card. Can just trades 2 for 1 with anything. So basically anybody can play Pank in the side. Lightning Storm is solid in the side as well. Hits a lot of things like Rescue Ace, Labyrinth. It's like okay. What else? Just like anything that makes a bunch of links. If you just Lightning Storm, or like even into the Fire King board. Well, no, not really, because they have Sanctuary. If they don't have Sanctuary, Lightning Storm hitting the island is really nice. But yeah, I think this card is pretty versatile, and really anybody can put that in their side deck. What else? Maybe Dark Ruler. Like Dark Ruler, it's not that great in this format. You know, maybe it's even in not good. It's either here or here. I'm trying to figure it out. But let me think on that for a second. I think Evenly can go in any side deck as well. Like, when Evenly's good, it wins games. So, anybody can side the Evenly and be ready to roll, and that's a pretty good board breaker. Let's move on now. Next, we're going to put in the tribute cards. I think all 3 of them are in the could side deck. Like, if your deck can use them, or if you can search the Kurikara, if you're playing Snake Eyes, of course, then yeah, sure. If you're playing like Vanquished Soul, or Kurikara helps you anyway, like as an attribute, sure, you could side it, but it's kind of like niche. Who is siding these cards? Sphere Mode and Lava Golem, same thing. If your deck doesn't need a normal summon, then you could definitely side these. I'm thinking like Kashtira maybe, even like Branded is possible to side deck the tribute guys. So. But it's definitely not an every deck thing. Definitely not, because most decks need their normal summon or are going to be pretty inhibited. Same with Kaiju. Kaiju obviously is a little bit more versatile, but it's in could side because it's not that great. So if you think... Actually, I'm just going to put it in not good. I don't think Kaiju... Like, nothing in this format you really want to trade 1 for 1 with a Kaiju, because you'll still get blown out. So... especially against the top tier stuff. I guess it's good if you have no other outs to Expertly Noir. You could Kaiju, but I'd rather play Kurikara, you know? In the good side, we'll put Dark Ruler. Like, Dark Ruler's, when it's good, it's very good. So if you're worried about some kind of matchup where Dark Ruler is good, then yeah, sure. Like, if you're playing against maybe Sprite or... I don't even know, like, where is Dark Ruler even good these days? I don't really know. Probably, maybe it's in not good. Maybe it's in not good. Just Droplet is better. I don't know. Duster is in good side. Like, if you really want some help with the Rescue Ace matchup, sure, put a Duster in. If you're playing Thrust anyway, you can put a Duster. But I think Lightning Storm is just a little bit better right now, just because only some decks you want to hit the back row, some decks you want to hit the monsters, so Lightning Storm obviously has that versatility. But Duster is still good enough where you could justify siding it. While we're on the topic of spell trap removal, Twin Twisters is terrible. Why is that in this list? Herald of the Abyss is in the good side. If you need help with Pearly, then sure. Spellbound is in a good side as well. Like, it's not that great. Ultimate Slayer, same situation. Kind of same situation as Super Poly. Like, if you can afford the slots in your extra deck, then Ultimate Slayer is okay. But if not, like, not every deck inside Ultimate Slayer, you know what I mean? Raigeki and Dark Hole. I don't know. They're okay. I think Raigeki is probably better right now. Dark Hole is not, like, very few decks want to destroy their own monsters at this point that are at the top of the meta. I don't know why you would play Dark Hole over Raigeki at this time. For most generic decks, like, if your particular deck wants to play Dark Hole for some reason, then sure, but otherwise not good. Chalice, not good. Alpha, unfortunately, not good. It'll just get popped, especially by the Fire King stuff or by the Labyrinth stuff. Just like, because it's not a quick effect, you're just gonna lose it. And then Encore is in the good side, right next to Herald of the Abyss. It's up to you how you want to deal with Expertly Noir in your side deck. Could be Herald, could be Encore, could be Kurikara, could be a Kaiju, but it's whatever. But yeah, that wraps up the tier list for the board breakers. So really quick, any main deck can play Cosmic, Fenrir, or Talents right now. A lot of decks are maining Super Poly, Droplet, and Econ if it kind of fits with your deck, right? Not literally every deck is playing Super Poly, because not every deck can fit the extra deck targets. Any side deck, the books, Change of Heart, Pank, Lightning Storm, evenly, they're like the staple, like, board breakers, like, very solid. For good side, the Tribute cards, Duster, the Noir outs, Spellbound if you really want to, Slayer if you really want to, if you have the extra deck space, and Raigeki if there's some particular reason to play Raigeki for you. Otherwise, we already have Lightning Storm, so if you, like, I don't know who's playing Lightning Storms and then wants more monster removal and is playing Raigeki also. Like, I don't think so. And then book, Kaijus, Dark Ruler right now, not good unless, like, very niche situations. Twin Twister, no. Dark Hole, Chalice, and Alpha, all no's. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the board breaker tier list and, like, non-hand trap tier list. You can main deck these. They're not necessarily board breakers. They can be interruptions going first, like Cosmic, all the quick plays, honestly. But, yeah. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you agree. Let me know if you agree in the comments. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you later.